same ticket, we have Mr. Sriram Patnaik and Miss Jessica Tan Mei Yu. So Sriram will be our presidential candidate, and Jessica will be the vice presidential candidate. For today's rally, there will be mainly 3 segments. For the first segment, the 2 candidates will be introducing their own team, and they'll be presenting their ideas for their team. And then they'll be given 30 minutes to pitch. And then for the second segment, we have 5 questions from the election committee. They'll be given 1 minute to discuss between themselves, and then 3 minutes to answer the question. For the third segment, which is also the most important segment, the audiences will be given an opportunity to pose questions to the candidates. But please be reminded that you should keep your questions clear and concise. So we have our timekeeper here today, Ms. Una. She will ring the bell once when there is only 30 seconds left, and the bell will be rung twice when the time is up. Are you ready? Okay, we shall begin with their pitching.
Yes. Okay, hi everybody. I'm Sritam. Yeah, she introduced me already. First, I'll be introducing myself, and then Jessica will come up to introduce herself. Then we'll go on to talk about the ideas we have and what our key focus will be during our term if we get elected. And firstly, I'd like to thank everyone for coming down here and spending your precious time within such a short notice. And even though there's graduation night preparation going downstairs, we really appreciate it, and thanks a lot. So yeah, I'm Sritam again, and I'd like to share my CCA that I joined during my first 2 semesters in KE. I was in 2 sports, actually 3 sports, soccer, floorball, and squash. Couldn't find any photos for squash. And I was in a few committees. Firstly, it's HPB, then Block Committee, OCIP Cambodia, and lastly those were extracurricular activities. I was emceeing with Kathleen. I'm so glad she's here today. And I took part in the D&D pageant. It was a great experience. Yeah, and all these things has taught me a lot for my first year, and I've enjoyed my whole life. And I'll be sharing with you guys why am I running after this. And Jessica will be introducing herself now. Yeah, Jessica, please.
Hi everyone, my name is Jessica, if you haven't caught my name just now. So similar to him, I'm going to start by introducing myself. So for the first year in KE, I have joined the CCA listed there. 6 main CCAs, 3 sports and 3 committees. I know that most people would encourage joining more a variety of CCAs, such as joining a cultural CCA, but to be honest, I don't really have more of the cultural side of genes from my parents. So I did try more towards the cultural side. CCA would be joining set as well. And then I went down during holidays to help out with painting the set. Yeah, so my main CCAs are squash, touch rugby, floorball, and for community side would be AD.com, hall publicity board, as well as OC Cambodia. So now we'll be moving on to tell you why we are running for JCRC. So why are we running for JCRC? For myself personally, as you all have seen, I've taken part in a lot of CCAs in my first year, and I've really enjoyed myself as living in KE Hall. So basically, what we want to do is we want to bring that kind of happiness we want to bring that kind of happiness that we had in our first year to everyone else in Hall, because we know that there are people who are not like us. There are people who didn't join too many CCAs. They didn't really get involved with all the Hall activities. So Hall to them is just actually a place to stay. Basically, you come back after school, they just want to rest. But we feel that we want to bring what we have experienced in our first year to everyone else. And now I'll pass the time on to Chita, who will explain his reason for joining this class.
Thank you, Jessica. Those who are sitting behind, y'all can move in front. A lot of seats here. Yeah. Okay. As Jessica has shared her motives behind joining JCRC. Yeah. Now I'll be sharing mine. Firstly, I'd like to share with you guys what I personally believe in. For me, let's say I'm running for something and I'm in any CCA. To me, passion matters a lot. And I think that's a very important thing that should be present in someone who's running for this position. And why did I say passion matters a lot? It's because, I'm comparing passion to, let's say, experience and capability and ability to lead a team. So, the reason why I believe passion is more important than that is because when the crunch time comes, passion is something which will keep you going. And this is like the sole reason why I'll be aiming to achieve like more and not just stay with the status quo and like do something just for the sake of doing. That's why I believe passion is important, and that's my main reason behind running. And other than that, I wouldn't want to speak of my past experience much, and because I believe the reason why you guys should vote for me is because you believe that I can make a difference in the future rather than what I've done in the past. Let's say maybe I was in council or I was in all the CCAs. Yes, I would have done something, but I believe that doesn't guarantee I will make a change in JCRC because of that. Yeah, I want you guys to think and believe that if given my passion, I'm going to make a difference in the hall and JCRC. That's my reason for running. And secondly, which a lot of people are asking, why run now? Why so late? Why when it's just 4 days of the last week of the semester? Let me start by telling you guys when I first decided to run, or when we first decided to run. Actually, Jessica and I were from the same OG, so they're not saying during keyword week. Okay, we briefly mentioned, I think someone mentioned it, hey, you guys should run next year for PNPP. Then we were like, we just casually mentioned it, like, yes, maybe we have the intention of running, but there was nothing concrete, like we didn't want to become PNPP just when we set foot as freshies. That's not what I mean, but we had the intentions then. And slowly as time passed by, first sem ended, second sem ended, she was in the AB block, I was in GH, and that interest kind of wasn't like that alive until the election committee started publicizing. And that's when, initially, I didn't want to run. Jessica was still willing to run, I think. Yeah, I didn't want to run because I think we are all students and our prime duty is to study. And after my first semester, I was a bit apprehensive about joining JCRC for the first few weeks. So, that's what I was thinking initially. But then, there are a few seniors who talked to me and who made me realize that deep inside I still wanted to run. One of the seniors is Sifan. There was one day we were having breakfast, and then she was like, why don't you run? She mentioned it casually. She was like, why don't you run? Then I was like, because I think this is not the right time. I should wait until next year. Maybe my cap will be, okay, let's not mention cap. Maybe circumstances will be better next year. So that's what I told her. Then she told me that how do you guarantee that circumstances will be better next year? What makes you think things will be much better? On your side next year for you to run. And then basically what she was trying to say is now or never. Yeah. She was trying to tell me it's now or never lah. And then I realized that yes, what she's saying is true because one of the reasons why I want to run is because of Jessica. Personally, I believe that even though we are friends, when it comes to work, our strengths and weaknesses complement each other. Okay, we'll talk more about that later maybe. That's the main reason why that's another main reason why I wanted to run. So when Sifa told me that, then I thought about next year. Then I realized that Jessica won't be here next year. Right? She's going for exchange, I think, in the UK. So that's one of the examples I thought like, yeah, next year I might not want to run again because Jessica is not there. So now is the best time to run. That's why we ran now. And okay, we have to go through a lot of red tapes and we have to wait a lot. That's why it's so last minute. We really appreciate your patience. That's why it's the last week. And then I hope I have addressed the why now question. And now I would like to say, what is our key focus going to be? Am I just another president who's coming here and talk about change? I think everyone talks about change, and why I'm not gonna, my first reason is not going to be change because the 57 JCRC has done a fantastic job in that term, and we have seen new initiatives taking place, we have seen changes, we have seen they're challenging the status quo and they're trying new things. That's why it wouldn't be right for me to come in and just say, oh, I'm going to change the things, because if you keep changing everywhere, there's no continuity. So what we want to focus is two things. Firstly, to improve the hall participation, and I'll elaborate later. And secondly is balancing tradition and change. So what do I mean by what do I mean by hall participation? By that I mean that currently, yes, we have a lot of activities, a lot of new initiatives that has been brought up by JCRC and the other different communities, but we still lack a substantial amount of crowd present in these activities. Let's not talk about any particular example, but I hope you guys believe what I'm trying to say. So what Jessica and I are trying to do is reach out to the KU residents in such a way that they will be willing to come for these events and really take part in these events. So how are we going to do it? Like details of events, Jessica will explain later, but I would like to say like a few approaches that we can adopt. I think for this, there can be a two-pronged approach to this. Let's say incentives, and the other can be a more intangible approach. Incentives, yes, it has been tried and tested, and we can still look into it and discuss more with the hall leaders how we can, like, maybe we award supper vouchers, hot points to do this. But I think something which will be more important is the intangible way, the people touch events. I think I heard this somewhere that a few years back, one of the blockheads, I think it's Sam, during the supper she brought some like the food to someone else's room. And then after that, the person was so touched that for the subsequent suppers she appeared. So I mean, this is just a small example. Let's say we have night cycling, but currently night cycling is just night cycling. You go there, you cycle all night long. But we can add something to it, like for night cycling, maybe FHD, maybe night cycling FHD, you ask a date, and then instead of riding a single cycle, you ride in a double tandem bicycles. Sounds good, right? Yeah, I mean, these are just small ideas and what I mean by adding a people's touch to our events. And secondly, and I think one of the main important things to do is next semester when the freshies come in, they'll be coming in August. It's very important to capitalize in their passion and their fresh minds to actually bring them to hall from the beginning so that when they think about joining other NFCCAs, they have to think twice. I mean, I'm not saying we can stop them from joining other CCAs, but we can obviously give them a choice and make sure that they try to choose hall before the other CCAs. That being said, for the juniors, because they are like the 50% of the 100% of all. Yeah, sorry, what am I saying? Next is the other 50%, seniors, the year 3s, the year 2s, the year 4s. Yeah. What are we going to do about them who have been in hall for, let's say that next year year 4s who have been in hall for so long, I think they might, this year they might be active, but next year they might choose to not come for activities because of maybe they don't feel like they just want to retire from hall. So how can we make sure that they come for activities? For this, I think it's very important to know what seniors like. I think if we continue doing new things, seniors might be a bit skeptical about it and they might question why are we always having new things and why are we not keeping things which have been done in the past. For this, we can talk to seniors and ask them and hear their voices to see what they want from hall and which traditions they want to be continued, and we can do it in such a way that they come and they still feel a part of KU, they still feel how they felt in their year 1. That brings to my second point, which is balancing tradition and change. What do I mean by this? Because currently, I think, if you guys would have seen yesterday during the PowerPoint slide, they took out this line from the things I said in my application, which was, if you give me a choice to give me one word to describe KU right now, I would choose the word change. Why so? I mean, why change now? Is it change is going to happen? It has happened. What I'm trying to say is change is happening. And now we are in such a juncture that we have to make a decision, or we have to know the directions for KU. We have to decide whether we are going to just forget all past tradition and adopt all new things, or we are going to hold on to tradition and do what KU has been doing for so long, just be a chill and relax hall. That's the challenge we are facing. So for this, we want to find out what residents feel for this. That's why we really believe that feedback matters a lot. Let's say we get into JCRC, and I think we'll try to ask all the residents what they feel the future of KU should look like. Should we more become like other halls, or should we define our own future? That's what I mean by balancing tradition and change. And it's important to keep some legacies throughout the years, because at the end of the day, when people ask what KU is, you should have something to say like K is this, which is happening every year, and there's a continuity, and seniors can relate to juniors and so on. So yeah, that would be our two key focuses, and now I'd like to pass on the time to Jessica, who will talk about initiatives. Yeah.
Thank you. As what Shidam said, the two main focuses that we want to bring about in Hall, that will be the two changes that we want to implement. Not say changes we want to implement. The two things that we are focusing on is encouraging Hall participation as well as balancing tradition and change. So now I'm going to actually talk about the other initiatives that we are actually trying to push for each of the three sectors, such as which is sports, committees, as well as cultural. So as for sports and committees, we feel that there is a need to improve and enhance collaboration between the various CCAs in the sectors itself. So for example, like for sports, there's this common situation where people who are in multiple sports, they actually cannot attend some of their trainings because the training timings overlap. So if you join too many sports CCAs, then you cannot go for a particular training every week. So what we are suggesting is that there are some things that are physical trainings which can actually be collaborated across the various sports CCAs. So things like, there's one suggestion that we have is Keegan's Run every Wednesday. This is something that can train stamina, which is applicable to most, if not all sports. So this is something that we can try to get the CCA leaders to work together to actually allocate some of the training time to these such activities. Yeah. So another idea we have for sports sector is actually that having a sports leaders camp during the December vacation period. So this sports leaders camp, what is it for? We feel that it is an opportunity for our sports leaders to actually have the chance to set their goals, like get firm goals in place. Every single person will be able to have the chance to share their goals and kind of like set the expectations they have for their various CCAs in the upcoming IHG the following year. So things like that would actually, we kind of like give them not only a chance to firm things up, but also give them a chance to interact with the other hall leaders and learn from one another. So, but by saying that, we are not saying that we are focused on results, but actually we are more concerned with how the CCAs are managed, and at the end of the day, what we really want is for all our residents to actually enjoy themselves in the various CCAs that they participate in. So as for the community side, we are also encouraging collaboration amongst the committees. For example, another idea that we have is hall play and Chinese drama. Each of these productions actually have their own subcommittees. So these subcommittees actually sometimes they perform very similar functions, like marketing or like ticketing, and we feel that like for example the JCRC productions can actually help to facilitate the interaction between these two major productions in hall, like help them to interact, communicate what has gone right and what has gone wrong, so that we can all learn from each other. And one more example that was actually brought up to us by one of the people we talked to in the cultural sector was that actually for marketing, such as finding sponsors, there are some sponsors who are actually willing to sponsor another event after sponsoring one of the whole events. But the thing is, there isn't enough communication between the various committees, and that's why such things are not implemented. Yeah. So the last one that I'm talking about is the cultural sector. For the cultural sector, we understand that it's very hard for the cultural CCAs, such as like dance or band, which are like quite different CCAs, like to actually work together. But one idea that we have is that we can have a monthly showcase whereby the various CCAs will be asked to, various CCAs or individuals, like it will be an open thing where people can actually sign up to actually conduct a performance. Because another feedback that we received from talking to someone else was that actually sometimes when they have ideas or they want, people in the cultural sector, they want to showcase their talents. So like for dancers, maybe they have a new choreography that they are trying out, and they think that it's actually a very good choreography, but they don't actually have a platform to showcase this kind of talents. So we believe that having this kind of opportunities for them will actually allow them to do what they love. Yep. So besides that, it will actually be a very casual setting, and this kind of events is just to encourage people to come up to hall and do what they really love. Yep. So that's it on my part.
Thank you, Jessica. And okay, there's one more person I forgot to introduce. It's because I thought he wasn't here yet. Sherwin, where are you? He's still not here yet. He's our, he didn't really campaign. So he's kind of our advisor, our consultant, and he's a lot of things. He's our campaign manager, even though we didn't campaign. Later he comes, you can say hi to him, or he can say hi to you. And now, I'd like to just close it because we have a few more minutes. This election is a lot of firsts. The first time maybe 2 freshies are running. The first time the rally is being held in the last 1 week, which is like 4 days. And the first time, maybe we are saying, we are not talking about change, we are talking about something different. So, I mean, what makes me stand here? If you ask me to define KE spirit, how would I define it as? I think to me, when I first came into KE, like the first month and like first semester maybe, people used to ask me, why KE? Do they ask you that too? Yes, no? I think it's yes. Then why they ask you, you have no answer. But never mind. When they used to ask me, I'll always tell this story. And the story is true. The reason why I first came to KE, when I applied to, I didn't apply to KE first, my friend applied first to KE, and then he convinced two of us, which includes me, to apply to KE as well. And then I was like, okay, I'll just apply to KE. Then I got in. Then the funny part is he didn't get in. So initially I was like, what? So I came here for him and he's not there. So I was like, quite apprehensive about KE at first. But as months passed by, as days passed by, I've met people who have made so much impact in my life that I don't regret this decision. Like for example, when I walk past office, I'll see Jackie and she'll start telling a story, because Jackie has been here for 20 years, I think 2 decades. She'll start telling a story of yesterday, then it'll go on to like 5 years back, then it'll go on to like 10 years back. And then she continues going. Sometimes the 5 minutes talk can become 1 hour. But this kind of little things is something which I love about KE. And currently the new cleaners, I haven't done the survey again, but the new cleaners, they arrange the slippers for you so nicely, so you walk out of the room and you wear your slippers already. And the people here, they are so nice. They give me 6 pounds, they give Jessica 7 pounds. I don't know why, but these are the little things which made KE and made me love KE. So now when people ask me why KE, I would say why not? I wouldn't say because this. I would say why not? We have, what don't we have? And that's another reason. And I would like to tell everyone that if we get elected, we will listen to each and every voice of you. Yes, that's what every resident says, and I will say again, but because that is important, because the hall includes you guys residents, it's not going to be run by just like us, it's going to be your voice. We're going to listen to your voice, we're going to listen especially when we disagree. We make sure that your points are brought up, and we listen to you, and we make the changes or continue the traditions that you guys want to happen in KE. With that, thank you guys, and now we'll move on to questions. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Srita and Jessica. So now we move on to the second segment, where we have 5 questions from the election committee. The team will be given 1 minute to discuss and 3 minutes to answer the questions. So our first question is, what do you think about 2 freshmen leading the whole higher student body? 1 minute starts now.
freshies within the whole hall. Again, why not? I mean, okay, never mind. I think they are good and bad to everyone who is leading. Then Jessica and I, even though we are just freshies, I mean, things are not going to change if we just go into year 2, we will suddenly not become mature. I think within these 2 semesters, we have found out a lot of stuff about hall, and we believe that we know sufficient amount of information about hall which will not make us like wrong decision makers. We'll make a sound judgment, and that's the first thing. And secondly, given that we are 2 freshies, thank you. Given that we are just freshies, right? When we are going to look at our team, and we are looking at the team dynamics right now, and we'll make sure that there are seniors inside, there are people from all the sectors, because currently, I think if the next question is why both of you are from sports and committees, I'm just asking now. This will really be seen in the team. We are going to look at seniors who are inside the team and tell us what has happened.